Right. Question 10. This rule can be used to work out the fare in some strange currency for a taxi journey. So, all we have to do here is follow the rule. So, it's saying find a formula for the fare C for a taxi journey of D kilometres. So we want a formula that says C equals, and then we just follow it through. Okay, multiply the number of kilometres travelled by 3. Well, that's D kilometres times 3, so that's just 3D. Okay, add 7 to your result, then divide by 2. Done. Right, let's have a look at this one. Question 11. Okay. This is going to be quite a big question, I think. Anyway, we'll make a start. It's about finding an estimate for the total weight of the 80 parcels. Okay, so let's have a look. How do we do this? Well, at the moment, all we know is that these 8 here, these 8 parcels are somewhere between 0 and 2, and these 14 parcels here are somewhere between 2 and 4. To work out a mean, we're going to have to assume that these 8 parcels here are one particular value, otherwise we can't do very much with this. So we choose the midpoint, don't we? We go for what we call the midpoint, which is in between the two limits. So I'm going to draw another couple of columns here, and this can be midpoint here, and so we go, okay, the midpoint for this one is 1, midpoint for here is 3, the midpoint for this one will be 5, 7, 9 and 11. Okay, and then we do, well, we've got 8 of these, and we've got 14 of those, and we've got 26 of those. So if I times here, that'll be like adding up these, so that'll be 1 times 8 is 8, 3 lots of 14 is 42, okay, 130, yeah, 70 plus 49 is 119, 90 and 55, okay. Okay, and that gives us 444. 444. Now, okay, what do we divide by? Now, I've seen people go, okay, you find the mean by adding them all up and dividing by how many, which is quite true if they're in a list, okay? And this is the same, except this time we're going to divide this by how many there are. Okay, well, how many there are is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is not 6, it is 80, because that's how many parcels there are. In other words, if we add these up, we will get 80. Okay, so this is the number that we divide by. 444 divided by 80, which gives us 5.55. So the mean is 5.55 kilograms. Okay. Now, why is this just an estimate? Why it says work out an estimate? Why can we only just work out an estimate? This seems a pretty accurate answer to me. And the reason is because we've already said that we don't know how many of these 8, for instance, here. We don't know what they are. They could be 0, 1, 1/2, 2 kilograms. We don't know. So we can only ever calculate an estimate for the mean from a grouped frequency table. If these were just discrete values, okay, so in other words they were just, you know, one number here, one number there, then it would be exact. But because it's grouped, then it can only be an estimate. Okay, now we then move on to the second part of this question, and it's saying to complete the cumulative frequency table. Okay, so I can feel a cumulative frequency diagram coming on. Okay, so I've just scribbled in the original the original frequencies here, and the cumulative frequency simply means to add up the frequencies as we go along. Okay, cumulative. So we start off with 8, and we add 14. Okay, so that will be 22. Add 26, so that will be 48. Okay, 48, 58, 65, 75. And 75 plus 5 is 80, which means that we haven't made a mistake. We know that that's right because it should be a total of 80, shouldn't it, here? Okay, now when we come to plot the diagram, which we'll do in a minute, we're going to be using the upper limits, these, not the midpoints, because we're talking about cumulative frequency, so we're talking about the maximum weight in this case for each set of values here. So we're going to be plotting the biggest one here against the cumulative frequency here. Okay, so let's have a look at the next page, which is the graph, and there it is. Okay, so I'll just plot those values in. Okay, I've plotted the points on there, and now I'm going to try my best to do a nice curved line, which is going to join all those up. Okay, not bad, not bad. Not brilliant, but not bad. Okay, now it says use the graph that we've just drawn to find an estimate for the number of parcels which weighed less than 5.2 kilograms. Okay, 5.2 kilograms is here. There. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up from there, and then when I hit this, I'm going to go along. Okay, so we're going from there to there, and then we're going that way, aren't we? Okay, and I make that about 36. I'll say about 36. Now, you've got to be careful here. This one says find the number of parcels which weighed less than 5.2 kilograms. And so we're talking about this part of the graph here, aren't we? So that's fine because we can say, oh, well, that's 36. That's fine. Okay. If, however, it said more than here, okay, more than, we would be talking about this part of the graph here. And in that case, you would have to do a subtraction of 80 take away 36. Okay, because we'll be talking about this region here. So that's just something, I'm just sort of pointing something out there. In this case, the answer is 36.